Testing, 1, 2, 3. Big sits down when he pees. You gotta know how to go. Standing up, don't pee on the floor. Brains, I won't lie. The podcast started 12 seconds ago. Me and Big's already live, and he doesn't know, and he's touching his cock.
Is that really the opening?
Yeah, why not?
I thought we were doing a sound test.
So did I, but then I started singing, and people just love my songs.
Yeah.
They say more of those songs from MUMKEY. Great.
Yeah, you guys don't know the true pain of having to sit through it in person.
The Pain of Salvation ending theme.
True. I haven't heard of it, or I haven't listened to that in a while.
You haven't listened to Pain of Salvation in a while, Biggs? What the fuck? Biggs, do you know the story of Frankenstein?
Yeah.
So it's the story of a guy named Frankenstein who he makes a monster. And the moral of the story is sometimes you can create your own destructor. You can birth something that destroys your own life, Biggs.
Is this a segue into my ratios?
I created a monster because nobody wants to see MUMKEY no more. They want ratio. I'm chopped liver. Last episode, I gave Biggs a small suggestion if he wants to grow his dead Twitter account. I said, hey, buddy, my tweets, they get seen by a couple people. Maybe just reply to every tweet I ever post with the ugliest baby image of me ever produced and just the word ratio. Maybe you'll gain some followers off of that. Biggs, how successful has this endeavor been?
Well, after the first few tweets, because you tweeted like twice in one day, like the first time I did it. And I think overnight I gained like 200 to 300 followers. I woke up just like all these Twitter notifications on my phone. I'm like, what is going on? And I open it. I'm like, oh wow, I actually successfully ratioed him twice. First try.
It's not that fucking hard. Dude, these people don't like anything I post. They'll like things making fun of me.
So then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it on as a personal challenge. I'll keep it up for every single tweet.
You turned on notifications for my tweets. So immediately, every time I post anything, it goes straight to your phone and you can just reply in a second.
And I've really taken on the persona of the ratio baby MUMKEY.
Yeah, you made it your profile picture.
My profile picture to it.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's been a good time.
Well, now that people know it's successful, what if we get a bunch of knockoffs? Like, what if everybody?
We've already got some knockoffs.
But I feel like now that you said, I gained 300 followers in a day. All these fucking these clout chasers, these fucking losers who listen to our show, they're so desperate to get their Twitter account into the 3-digit follower range. I guarantee these fuckers are gonna try to ratio all of us now all the time with the same fucking baby photo.
It's fine, because they're gonna be looking for my name, and they're gonna like that one just to get at MUMKEY boy.
No, they're not gonna like it because they're trying to ratio you. Now they'll never like anything we post again because that'll make the ratio more difficult. We have fucked ourselves.
I'm fine with this either way. I'm gonna keep it up.
Yeah, you know what? Live and let live. And live and let die. Hey, Biggs.
Yeah?
I don't know. I feel like I should have more to say about the ratio thing, but really it's kind of funny to be reminded every day how ugly I was when I came into this world and how ugly I continue to be as I exist in it.
I've gotten quite a few messages from people asking what that picture is.
What the fuck is that ugly thing?
They're like, is that really a baby, or is it like a baby monkey or something? I'm like, oh, it's definitely a baby monkey. And when I tell them that it's actually the MUMKEY man himself as a baby,
yep,
they instantly save it, and a lot of them have made it their cover photos on Twitter.
In the Patreon Discord that we're all very excited to chat in every day, and they've made that one of the emotes. So now every time I post anything, they fucking do the reply emoji of my own fucking baby photo. I can never escape it now.
Oh, that's amazing.
Why did I give you this idea? I did it to myself. I can't even be mad. Really, I'd be more upset if you didn't take my advice, because now we've proven it's a worthy endeavor.
Yeah, it really was. And now, usually some of your tweets, they come out at like 3 a.m. and it'll wake me up, and I'll still take a few seconds before I go back to sleep to ratio and go to sleep.
Yeah, lately I've been tweeting a lot at 3 and 4 a.m., mostly just getting into Twitter fights with Rusty. Rusty at 3:30 in the morning posted a photo of him eating like an entire roasted duck, like the full fucking rotisserie duck you would buy somewhere. Like he said, midnight snack. So and then he said, it's duck season, in reference to the classic Looney Tunes bit, duck season, wabbit season. So I googled what is duck season in Florida, and it said like, oh, it's these 2 weeks out of December and the month of January. So I screenshotted it. What, my fucking phone thinks I'm asking a question? Shut the fuck up. So I screenshot it and reply and say, it's not duck season. Why do you continue to lie to your audience? It's lie after lie after lie. Why did you not ratio that tweet? Do you don't have replies turned on?
Yeah, I don't think replies come through. Only your main tweets.
They must, because I know you can get notifications for replies, because Peyton does that for Rusty. Whenever he replies to somebody, she likes it within 1 second of it being posted. And he'll talk to me all the time like, who the fuck is this creepy person? Is this a bot? Why do they like my shit immediately? It's not humanly possible to do that. And I'm like, no, that's just Peyton.
Maybe I'll have to hit her up and ask her how she does it.
Oh, you're going to hit up Peyton, Biggs?
And ask her how she does that.
Oh, okay. Good idea. Hey, speaking of Peyton, have you heard of a guy named Hartsy Pratsy before?
I think so. He's like an up-and-comer, right?
Yeah, we've been watching Breaking Bad from the beginning again.
Oh,
and
boy.
It's
Uh-oh.
It is uncanny how much Walt Jr. sounds like Hartsy. If you closed your eyes and you just listened to both, you wouldn't know who was who. They both talk about breakfast a lot, and that's it. But, Biggs, are you aware of the new failed Twitter competitor for conservatives and Trump supporters called Getter?
No.
So it's GETTR, and I mistakenly thought that Donald Trump himself made it, because he was talking about making his own free speech conservative social media, and it's called Getter, so I thought it was literally Get Trump, like Get TR, Get Trump, but no, it wasn't. And it turns out that the Donald Trump on that app that had like 400,000 followers was just some fucking guy pretending to be Trump, and
Nice.
he recently got banned.
Dude, that sounds like something that Larry the Cable Guy would make. Like, get her done, you know?
Buddy,
Just get her-
we're gonna get to that.
What? No way.
Because
When you said that was the first thing I thought of was, get her
well,
done.
it's very, very funny you said that, because today we're going to play a little game show called MUMKEY or Hartsy. Because Hartsy and I both made accounts on this Getter app, and we are just shitposting as like the super like hardcore Trumpers and posting the dumbest shit we can. And we're essentially competing to see who can be less funny between me and Hartsy. And like, there's nobody on this app. It's completely dead. Nobody likes any of our posts. It's just me and him posting jokes to each other and liking them to each other. So I screenshotted all of my posts and all of his. I'm going to read them to you, and you have to guess which ones were posted by me and which ones were posted by Hartsy. And yes, there is a Larry the Cable Guy reference
oh
at
my
some
God.
point.
I knew it.
So, you ready for this? Should we keep track of your points or something? I think I got a piece of paper around here somewhere. Okay. How many should you have to get right? Should you have to get half of them?
Well, how
to
many
win?
are there total?
Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So if you can get 8, you win a fabulous prize.
What's the fabulous prize?
My respect.
Well, I lost. I don't think I ever gained that.
Yeah, this is how you earn it.
Okay.
So let's begin. Let's begin with an easy one. Tweet our Getter tweet number 1. First of all, Cheetos are delicious, so President Cheeto isn't even an insult. Space. I want to have anal sex with Trump.
I'm guessing that was you.
Correct. 1 point for Biggs. Okay, let's go to the next one. Despite being 13% of dogs, pit bulls commit 50% of bites.
Hartsy.
That was me. I'm sorry, Biggs. You lost that one. And let me know if any of these are actually funny. So far, I don't think any of them have been funny, but if you hear a post that you think is funny, let us know so that either me or Heartsy can feel happy about our joke. Okay, here's another one. Orange man good.
Was that Heartsy?
That was also me.
Oh my... Are you reading all yours off first or what?
Oh, you're supposed to guess based on who you think wrote it, not on how many in a row I've done, you motherfucker.
It's like doing those stupid fill in the bubble tests and you're like, I've gotten A 3 times in a row. There's no way this is A too.
Well, you gotta just answer the question and not try to play a meta game of bullshit, Biggs.
They're playing with our young minds.
Okay, here's one. The women's suffrage movement and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
Well, that one's about women, so I'd assume Heartsy did it.
Correct.
Okay. Especially if he's being satirical about women, it had to have been
I'm
Heartsy.
convinced everything Heartsy posts on here he sincerely means.
Oh.
But, okay, you've got 2 out of, I think, 5 so far, so you're not doing too hot. I have no sympathy for tall people. That could really go either way.
Yeah, you're both short. I'll go with Heartsy, though.
Correct.
Okay.
Why did you think that one was Heartsy?
Because even though you're short, he's still like 5 inches shorter than you.
So he has no sympathy for me?
Yeah.
Am I tall compared to Heartsy? Would he think that we are tall chads?
You're like a giant compared to him.
Okay. Okay, here's one. I would swallow Don Jr.'s seed.
That's yours.
How do you know?
That is yours.
God damn it, how'd you know that was me? How'd you know?
Because you're not lying.
True. I'm a tiger. I can't wait until our real president gets back in office this October.
You.
Wrong, that was Heartsy.
Ah.
Microwaved my fork because I don't like eating with cold utensils. Big mistake.
You.
No, that was Heartsy again.
Are you kidding? The big mistake is definitely something you would write.
Okay, this is an easy one. I don't even have to read it. The flight plan I filed with the agency lists Sneed, my men, and Dr. Chuck here, but only one of you.
You.
Pretty good guess. Okay, you've got 5. I don't know if you're gonna get 3 more. I don't know how many more there are. Alt-right Larry the Cable Guy be like, get her done, and made the same fucking joke as you.
Is it you?
It was me.
Okay.
Damn, it's getting kind of toasty in here.
I need 2 more. 2 more.
I don't know if there's even 2 more left. Let's see. There's 1 that I haven't done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 5 left.
Okay, I can do this. 50-50.
How many of these do you have to get out of the 5?
2.
Okay, you can probably
Statistically impossible for me to get this wrong unless I'm just dumb.
The fact that schools teach children the lie of evolution rather than our divine creation by our Lord infuriates me.
That sounds like you're writing.
That was Heartsy.
Oh my.
Heartsy learned from the best.
I guess so, because that definitely sounds like something you would write.
Okay, here's a good one. I'm not denying that it happened, but 6 million? Ooh, Biggs is really thinking hard about this one.
Was that one you?
That was Heartsy!
Oh my god!
So you have to get 2 of the remaining 3 to win my respect. Can it be done? Is it possible? I don't think so. I don't know. Okay, here is another one. Without being racist, what's a race you could do without? And you can go ahead and answer the question too.
That sounds like you, but so did the other ones. I'll say you.
That was me. You're correct. Which race could you do without?
Indians. Like not the
Native American ones. Or
no, the other ones.
Oh, because they keep calling you, trying to sell you, or to get your Google Play card?
Yeah.
See, most people replied with, like, Daytona 500, so the fact that you actually chose a group of people is pretty telling, Biggs.
Hey, I'm just being honest here,
Okay,
man.
there's 2 left. You have to get 1 of them to win.
Literal 50-50. I have to...
I really hope that, but sir, that was just a Sigma male moment is a good legal defense.
You.
That was artsy. Yep.
For real?
Yeah, that was artsy. You have to get this last one. For all the marbles, buddy. Final showdown. The ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny. It's gonna be a tough one. Are you ready? You got your mind. You got your almonds activated in your brain. He's taking a big sip of wild cherry Pepsi to, get his brain a-moving. What's alt-right? All I know is Alt F4, which in case you don't know is a handy keybind that clears background cache to help the currently launched applications to run better. Give it a try.
That sounds like Heartsy.
And Biggs. For all the marbles, the correct answer is Heartsy Protsy.
Yes!
Yeah, that's right.
I did it! I won his respect, finally!
8 out of 15. You did it, buddy. I mean, that would be a failing grade in school. But
hey, we
have lower standards on the MUMKEY and BIGS show, I guess.
We go for a passing grade at the bare minimum here in Iowa, so...
I don't think 8 out of 15 is passing. Is it?
Well, that tells you how good our education system is here, if I don't even know that.
Yeah, clearly. Well, Biggs, that's the MUMKEY or Heartsy game show. Are you going to be making an account on Getter so you can follow all these hilarious posts?
Well, I didn't even know this was a thing, so I definitely am. That sounds awesome.
Are you going to actually post your random shitpost ideas on there since nobody will ever see them?
No, they're going to be my real, thought-out feelings.
And you can pretend that it's satire because it's on Getter.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody wants to follow me and Heartsy, it's at Simeon Jimmy and at Heartsy on that app, so you can go see us post shit like that, I guess. Maybe me and Heartsy should have a competition to see who gets more followers on Getter. Because then he could actually beat me.
I'll start ratioing you on Getter, too.
You easily could. And honestly, since nobody uses this app, it's completely dead.
We should just fill it with our audience.
Yeah, like our community could just have our own insulated little portion of the internet that nobody else knows about.
My tag or whatever you call them will probably be at Bigsington. I'll make it right after we record this so that way nobody steals it.
If you had to guess, how many followers do you think I currently have as of this recording?
Probably 2.
No, a little more than that. I advertised it on Twitter, and then when I
didn't know you advertised.
But when I realized Trump didn't actually make it, and I looked like an idiot, I deleted the tweet advertising it, and have not gained a follower since then.
So 20.
70. I've got 70. Not too shabby for Getter.
Nice.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll get up to the 3 digits after this podcast, because I'm really dedicated to my Getter account. I've been posting pictures of Scorch climbing the curtains on there. Exclusive stuff you won't find anywhere else. But Biggs, I understand you took quite the trip recently. You want to talk about that? You got some...
Trite the quip?
What is this, a fucking Marvel movie? So you went on a big road trip and had some fun in the sun?
I wouldn't call it fun. So basically, what happened is I had some family problems arise, and I had to buy...
A Rise of Skywalker?
I had to buy a last-second plane ticket to Albany, New York.
How much was a last-second ticket to New York from Iowa?
$400.
Each?
Yes.
And it was a one-way ticket?
Yes.
Fuck that. Fuck that. The plane seat was gonna be empty. Why would they charge so much?
I don't know.
Just let him on.
So anyways, this is literally like us buying the ticket for the next day.
Yeah.
Like that's how impromptu this was. So we buy the tickets, and for those of you that don't know this about me, when it comes to traveling, I have like high anxiety for traveling. Like I have to make sure everything is packed. Like I pack weeks in advance for any big trip.
So how do you do that for a trip that's the next day?
So literally as soon as I find out we're thinking about traveling, like we hadn't decided quite yet that we were actually going, because it was like a crazy idea, right? Like we're not going to travel to New York tomorrow. That's insane.
Well, hey, a family emergency is an emergency, you know?
Yeah, but to me, in my mind, I'm like, there's no way. But anyways, as soon as it became a possibility, I started packing a backpack. Like I was only going to be there for a day, and then we were going to drive back, and that's another whole part of this. But so I started packing my backpack and made sure I had chargers, headphones, everything imaginable that I needed. So then we finally get the tickets bought at like 3 p.m. that day. We fly out at 6 a.m. the next day. And the first flight, we actually got upgraded for free to first class.
This is your story of bitching about traveling. You get free first class tickets.
Well,
oh man,
this is what sweetens me for the anal fissures that I get to follow.
It was false confidence at the very beginning that it might go smoothly.
So I'm in the airport and we're sitting there waiting at our gate and they call our names and I'm like, okay, that's weird. Why are they calling us up? So I went up and they're like, yeah, we're changing your seats. And immediately me and my mom, who I was traveling with, we're just like, oh, come on. Like, really? We already had our seats pinned down. Like, you're going to change them on us. And then they come up and they're like, oh, well, it looks like you're being upgraded to first class. So we're like, well, no. They didn't tell us it was first class. They told us the seats, which is like 2C and 2D. To me, I know 1 through 10 is first class on these planes, generally. So I'm like, there's no way we got 2. They must have meant like 12 or something. So we get on the plane, I'm looking at my ticket, I look, and sure enough, it's first class. I'm like, bro, I can't complain about this. This is awesome.
Now, Biggs, not to be the party pooper, but have you considered perhaps why they chose you and your mother to get larger seats on the plane? Do you think maybe anybody, as soon as you checked in, they got a little bit worried about something?
You see, the flights that we took are what I like to call soup can planes.
Correct.
So it's these tiny little piece of crap planes that are like 2 seats on each side.
Yeah.
And we were already next to each other, so it wouldn't have literally bothered anyone else for us to be there.
But maybe the integrity of the seat itself was in question, and they knew there was no way, and that we need to get these fuckers the biggest seats on the plane.
There were bigger people on that plane sitting side by side.
You telling me Iowa is full of obese people?
Yes.
True.
I'm like the low end of obesity in Iowa, and that's saying something.
Uh-oh. This is a terrible place to live.
So yeah, we fly to, our connecting flight is in Washington, D.C. Now, the cool thing about this is...
You got to meet Trump?
No.
I know he's not there anymore.
I flew in, and I got to see the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, and what else? Oh, yeah, the Capitol Building.
The White House?
Now, mind you, I didn't get to go up to these places. I saw them as we were coming down from landing.
So you got the aerial view.
Yeah.
That's pretty
so
nice.
So it was sweet. So
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, this is not too bad, I guess. I get to see these things.
You've never been to D.C.?
No, I've never been. So we get off the plane and we start...
Oh, well, I hope so. How else will you get to your destination if you don't get off the
So
plane?
we're walking up the hallway thing, right? That they like connect to the plane, you walk out.
Is that what they call the tarmac, or is that something else?
No, the tarmac's like where the planes are actually like driving around and stuff. So we get to the end of this tunnel, and my mom is huffing and puffing.
She had to go at a slight upwards incline.
She's like, we have to stop. We have to stop right now. We can't keep walking. I'm looking at my watch. And mind you, the whole like trip, I had looked at the maps of the airports. I had planned out how long it would take to walk from point A to point B, and it was like we were on a tight time frame. We were only going to be in DC for like 20 minutes.
You had a 20-minute connecting flight?
Yes.
Oh, fuck
So I'm
that.
like, you have to move. We have to get to the next gate. Now, luckily, what I didn't realize is while we were on the flight, they actually changed what gate we flew into. So it ended up only being like 4 gates away from our next flight. I didn't know that. But for me, I'm thinking we have to walk all the way to this other, what are they called?
Terminal?
Yeah. We had to go from this terminal to another one. So I'm like, you have to move. Like, come on. So she drinks a little bit of water. She starts waddling behind me. And I'm like, we have to go. Please, you have to speed up. And then I turn and look, and I'm like, wait, this is our gate right here. And I'm like looking at the ticket, making sure. And sure enough, it was like I said, like maybe 4 or 5 gates away.
So you guys got lucky.
Yeah, we got really
some of those
lucky.
airports are so big. Like when I went down to Rusty's, I went through some fucking Texas airport. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like I had to take a fucking train to the other part of the airport. If I had a 20-minute layover, I would have missed it for sure.
Yeah, like, so the only tram that they have there that goes from terminal to terminal isn't from the terminal we were going to the one we needed to. It's different ones. So I looked at the layout, and it would have taken us 15 minutes just to walk from our terminal to the next one.
Well,
And-
an hour and a half with your mom there.
Well, that was making it longer than it should have because of her already.
Yeah.
But now she's being slower than I anticipated. And it took extra time to get off the plane because they had problems connecting the whatever to the plane. So I'm in like freak out mode until we finally realize, hey, we're already here. And then the next meltdown happens where she's just so mad that we have to wait in a line because
Your mom is?
Yeah. Like, we didn't get assigned seats. It said check in at the desk.
Yeah.
But they were literally boarding when we got to the terminal or the gate. So we're waiting at the desk, and the lady's like helping people get on the plane and not helping anyone at the desk. There's like a long line of us. So my mom's just starting to complain, and I'm like, man, if the rest of this trip is going to be nothing but her complaining, it's going to be awful. So we basically, just to speed through that, the lady finally helped us find her seats. We got shoved in these 2 small seats in the way back of the plane. Like the ones that are literally classified as like less legroom. So that flight was awful. The whole time she's like elbowing me in the side while I'm trying to sleep and complaining that it's too
You can
tight.
actually sleep on a plane?
I tried. Keep in mind, I was
Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme.
I was so worried about this trip that I literally did not get to sleep until like 4 a.m. and we had to be at the airport at 6. So and on top of this, so the whole trip plan is fly to Albany, drive back to Des Moines, all in one thing.
Because you had to pick up a car?
Yeah, we were going to pick up a car, and we weren't going to stop. So I'm on like an hour and a half.
You weren't going to
sleep.
stop driving?
No.
You didn't stop for a hotel? How long is a fucking drive from New York to Iowa?
20 hours.
Why? Why would you try that?
Listen. So we get to Albany, we get out of the airport, or we get off the plane.
Isn't Albany where they refer to hamburgers as steamed hams? Isn't that an Albany expression?
Maybe, I don't know.
Have you heard about that?
So we get off the plane, we go down,
Okay.
and I literally paid for in full and reserved a rental car from Budget, the company Budget.
Okay.
And so we go up to their counter and nobody's there. There's a sign saying go to this other counter for Avis something, and I guess they're like the parent company. So we go over there and there's like 12 people in line. And they're like, listen, we have no cars.
Did you get a refund?
So we're all standing in line and we're like, and it was like dead silent while we were there. But then like while we were waiting for this manager, I was just getting more and more pissed off.
Yeah.
So I turned to the guy next to me and I'm like, so much for reservations, huh? Like, you know, haha, funny.
Uh-oh. Biggs is pissed.
And
He's getting snappy.
that starts a line of everyone in line starting to like bitch and moan. They're like, yeah, that's right. We reserved cars.
Oh, no.
And we don't have any cars? Are you serious?
You started a chain reaction of hatred.
Reserved them. What is the point in reserving something if you don't have it
If you
available?
give it away to somebody else, or yeah.
That's so stupid. So like we're all in line just mutually bickering about this, and the manager is
You
like,
lit the match on a bomb.
yes. The manager is frantically like trying to calm everyone down.
Biggs, you ruined his day.
Bro, I just got off of a 2-hour flight getting elbowed in the side every chance I got to sleep.
And weren't you gonna,
I was
wasn't
already
there,
angry.
I feel like you skipped part of the story. We can get back to this, but you said there was some incoherent woman at the airport.
Oh yeah. So
I want to hear about that again.
So that long line we had to wait in trying to figure out our seats, there's a lady right in front of us who is talking to the lady at the desk while she's helping people through onto the plane. And she's like complaining because they won't let her on the flight. And the lady at the counter is like, ma'am, this is not your flight. She's like, no, this is my flight. This flight is going to Maine, and it's gate like 427 or something, she said. And the lady at the counter is like dumbfounded. She's like, ma'am, look at the screen. It says Albany, New York, gate 438. That's what gate you're at. And she's like, no, it's not. You're lying to me. You're lying to me. This flight
She calls her a
is
liar?
going to Maine. It is going to Maine. This is my gate. I'm not leaving. I'm getting on this plane. So it goes back and forth, back and forth. And this lady behind the counter, I felt bad for her. She's just like, you know what? I'm going to call security on you if you don't go away right now.
Good.
So the lady is just so like persistent about it. She's like, no, this flight is going to Maine.
As Mitch McConnell
You're
once
lying to
said,
me.
and yet she persisted.
Yes.
Heroic words.
So I'm standing behind this lady, and I'm like at my wit's end before the flight.
Wait, you weren't enjoying the show?
So I literally just wanted to like grab her by the neck and like just shake her and throw her. I'm
Grab
like,
her by the pussy?
Shut up! This is not going to Maine. Look at the screen. It literally says right above your head, Albany, New York. How stupid are you?
You're gonna go Skylar White? Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Shut up!
You're gonna go, what's the name of the fat chick from Donnie Darko?
Shut up!
Shut up! You should have done that to her with an accent.
Oh, it was terrible. So then, of course, we had the hellish flight. We're skipping back.
It's hellish because you have to sit next to your mom?
Yes. Complaining the entire 2 hours, elbowing me.
What is she complaining about on the flight? I don't have enough room for
leg room.
Yeah.
It's too hot in here. Why do they squeeze so many people on planes?
Why did I have children?
Yeah, she actually did say that a few times.
Good. Yeah.
So, skipping back to the rental car line. So there's like an uprising now. People are like,
oh god,
literally storming up to the desk.
You're fucking Katniss Everdeen now, starting the revolution.
Because we were literally in like this roped off line, back away from the desk. By the time this is all said and done, everybody's like at the desk, like yelling at these managers.
Oh my god.
So finally, they help a few of the people in front of me, and then they call me up. And they're like, so what can we help you with? And mind you, there are still people in front of me.
I'm here for a car.
Yeah, so I show him my phone. It has the reservation. I'm like, you see this right here where it says reserved? You know, that usually means that you have held a car for me, right?
Hey, you saved me one.
Yeah.
That I paid for.
He's like, well, you see, that's not actually how it's done. We just expect these cars to be here, so we reserve them. And the lady behind me heard that. She like overheard it, and that started another whole uproar. People were just like screaming.
That's idiotic.
So finally, they find me a Kia Forte, and they're like, you know, make sure it says the right thing on the license plate because they like to give the wrong cars away, blah, blah, blah. So we get outside.
That sounds like their fucking job.
Yeah, exactly. So we get outside and go across to the rental lot, and this is already like an hour and a half after we got off the plane. Like, that's how long it took in that line. And, you know, I'll actually skip back to before we left real quick. Before we left, I mapped out a timeline for the whole trip.
What happened in your past that you're so meticulous about going on, like, you're traveling? What the fuck happened?
Okay, there are so many people that like to go on trips unprepared.
Yeah,
they
me.
just get completely screwed over because they don't think ahead of time.
I don't.
Okay, well,
it's called having fun. You just go on a trip and hang out. Oh, if I miss my flight, fuck it. They'll give me a new one. It'll be fine.
Not me, bro. I'm not dealing with it.
I go to the airport 1 hour before the flight takes off. I don't give a shit.
I'm sitting at my mom's house at her dinner table at her whatever the hell. Anyways,
are we getting a flashback in the story?
Yes. I have a pen and a piece of paper, and I'm literally timelining the whole thing. How long it would take at Des Moines Airport, when we would land, how long the layover was, getting on the next flight.
See, that's how you get fucked, is when you overplan, because you have to expect everybody else to fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is proof of how good I am at expecting the unexpected.
It all went according to Kaikaku?
Literally, I get off the plane, I allocated an hour and a half for the rental car. And my mom's like, there's no way it's going to take that long. It took an hour and a half. I was exactly right, almost to the minute.
But what is the point of mapping out the timeline if you can't expect anybody to do it right? Because no matter what you plan, it was going to take that amount of time regardless. So what's even the point?
Exactly. Because here's the key. It was already going to take that amount of time, right? But it was going to take more time if I didn't force my mom to go to the schedule. If she didn't follow the schedule, it would have been even longer.
What part could she have fucked up? Get on the plane? Get on the next plane?
She could have messed up literally any part of that schedule if I did not make her do it.
I just don't know how you could fuck it up.
This is a woman that has not really left the state of Iowa, the city of Des Moines, in like the last 60 years.
What?
Bro.
Can we take your mom on a road trip to Branson? She would love it.
Okay, so she was born in 66, so she's like 57 or 6 or something like that.
Okay.
She told me while we were on the first plane that she had not flown since like 93. She had not been on a plane in 93. She had not been on a long car ride.
She didn't go to Poland at all when you were there?
No. She had not been on a longer car ride, like leaving Iowa, since like 2001.
So you and me have left the state together more than your mom
Yes.
has in her whole life.
Yes. She
Wow.
never travels. So
When is her next vacation, dude? Let's take her to see Shoji Tabuchi.
She didn't even know how airports worked anymore. I had to walk her through the whole thing.
What do you mean you gotta go through security?
Exactly.
9/11 who?
It was just...
Take off my shoes. What are you, a foot fetishist?
It was ridiculous. And, okay, we can actually skip back to that part, too.
Yeah, your mom going through security?
Security was funny. So I told her, I was like, Mom, I'm a fat guy.
Yeah.
Every time I go through security, I get patted down because they think I'm smuggling stuff. I'm telling you now. Like,
Oh, God!
she's like, that's not going to happen.
They grabbed your mom's tits?
No, me.
They grabbed your tits?
Yes. So we go through security. We go through the thing where they like body scan you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, like every single time I've ever been in an airport, they pull me aside.
Yeah.
They're like, sir, it looks like you have something, down around
Do
your
you think it
legs."
might be because of your skin color and not your weight?
No, I used to think that, but then now I look at the screen when I go through, and it literally tags different parts of your body. That looks like smuggled
That's
stuff.
just your body.
No,
what
listen.
do they think's in there?
It shows your whole body, right? And it puts little squares, like yellow and red squares around different parts of your body. And it's always around my legs, because I have some thick legs, all right?
Fuck yeah, dude. Thick thighs save lives.
So he pulls me aside. My mom's like, wow, they really did stop you. I'm like, yeah, they do this every time. The guy looks at me kind of like scared, like, oh, we do? I'm like, yeah. It's the fat around my legs. Looks like I'm carrying contraband, right? And he's like, yeah. How'd you know? I'm like, dude, I've been through this. Go ahead. He's like, do you want to go like do this in private? Because it's like a pat down. I'm like, no, dude, just go for it. I don't care.
If I get hard, it's your fault.
Just get it over with, So he starts patting me down, feeling the inside of my legs. Now, this is the first time this has ever happened. This man took his hand and like made it into a karate chop and slid it down my butt crack.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
Why?
That has never happened to me.
If you're smuggling something up your ass, that's not gonna catch it.
And yeah, I made sure to tell him, hey, by the way, that butt stuff, don't do it next time.
You're not. If somebody's doing it, just let them go through.
Yeah.
You don't want to stick your finger up there, buddy. It's a fucking train wreck down there. I just had Taco Bell the other day. Trust me.
So anyways, we get in the rental car. We're already an hour and a half waiting for this rental car. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just ready to get on the road. Because it was a 2-hour trip up to where we had to go in New York. Now, this is northern New York, not like New York City. So we're going to northern Hicktown,
it's an
New
Albany
York.
expression.
So we get in the car, we start driving, and we realize the AC doesn't work. And it's a balmy like 93 outside.
In the rental car or the car you were picking up?
Rental car.
What?
Rental car.
Why do they have rental cars in 2021 with no AC?
So my mom's like, well, no, it was like a newer car. It just didn't work.
What the fuck?
So my mom's like, we have to go like tell them blah, blah. I'm like, Mom, telling you right now, if we turn around and go tell them this car doesn't have AC, it's another hour before we're on the road.
You'll never get a new car.
So she's like, I guess we'll just have to roll down the windows. And I kid you not, the whole 2 hours was nothing but hell. Just complaining. Literally, partway through the trip up north, I told her, you're being really immature right now. I am going through everything you're going through, and you don't hear me bitching at all.
And you're doing all the work.
You're being insufferable.
Yeah.
You have to stop, or I will get out of this car, walk back to the airport, and fly home. And you can do this alone.
You should have. You don't owe them shit, dude. Fuck that.
So, oh my God. So we leave the airport. She wanted to get some food, so we stopped.
No surprise there.
I even put on the schedule that we were going to get food after the airport. She said, we're not going to do that. We're going to just drive. So it fit my schedule. Then we get on the road.
Wait, the trail mix or whatever the fuck garbage ass airplane snack wasn't enough to fill your mom?
What comes next? The joke about how you're enough to fill my mom?
No, I mean, those Biscoff cookies are pretty good. Dip them in the Coca-Cola that you get. It's a good treat.
Well, I always get ginger ale on the planes. I really like ginger ale. So we start driving north. In about 30 minutes into the trip, we have the windows down because it's
what did
hot.
What did you guys get to eat? That's important to know.
I think we stopped at Wendy's, I think.
I gave your mom Wendy's nuts.
Saw that coming. Anyway,
So did your mom.
I saw that too.
So did your mom.
Stop.
That's what she said. She said stop.
So it was rape?
It was, I did sexually assault your mother against
So
her will.
30 minutes into this trip, okay? 30 minutes into the trip, we have the windows down. It's scorching hot. We're still
Scorch was there?
We're still sweating even with the breeze. And I will say it was a nice breeze coming in the windows because we were like up in like the forest basically.
Yeah.
But then the worst imaginable thing happens.
Your mom farted?
It starts pouring. You cannot see out the windshield. It was pouring
Oh my
so
God.
bad. So I'm like, oh man, we cannot roll up these windows. It is way too hot, and I'm not going to listen to her cry the whole way.
So you basically drove through a car wash with the windows down?
Yes.
Why?
I left my window down. She rolled hers up. I was not going to deal with her crying about how hot it was. The rain pelting me was way better, more tolerable than listening to that woman cry like 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
So we're driving through I guess they're mountains. To me, they looked like really big hills, but to New York, I guess those are like small mountains. So we're driving through the mountains in the woods, and it's pouring rain, and I'm just trying to like get there, right? Next thing you know, we come up behind 2 semis, side by side.
Oh my God!
I don't even remember
Driving
how
through
long.
a rainstorm so they can't fucking see?
I don't even remember how long we were behind those semis. It felt like years.
What? This should be illegal. Why is that allowed?
So it was terrible. So anyways, we finally get to where the car is being kept.
But can we put that on the pathetic list? Semi-drivers who try to pass other semis and spend 3 years doing
Listen, I've been in the transportation business enough in my life already to where I know truck drivers in general are on the pathetic list.
Yeah.
Because 99.999% of them are just utter retards.
Yeah, that's why they're a fucking truck driver for a living.
So anyways, we finally get to where we're going, where the car is. So the plan from here is my mom's going to drive that car, and I'm going to keep driving the rental car up to where we had to go next to drop off the rental car before we could start the trek back to Iowa. That was like 30 minutes away. So by this point, luckily, the rain had stopped. We arrive at this little place called like McGee's Towing or something in this redneck backwoods city that literally had like 180 people population. Like I looked it up. I can't remember what town it doesn't even matter. But so we show up there. Before we got there, they said that this car that they were holding was going to cost us like $70 a day, right? So it'd been like 4 days, so we were thinking $280.
Wait, 4 days? It sounds like you had it for 4 hours.
No. The car that was at the towing place that we were picking up.
They charge you for how long they held on to it?
Yes.
How's it wasting their fucking money?
Dude, this was literally a dirt lot.
Yeah.
And in the back,
it's just a parking spot.
In the back, they had like a lumber mill.
You could have parked at Disney World for cheaper.
Yeah.
Fucking assholes.
So, $280. We're like, okay, whatever. So we get there, we get inside, and they're like, oh, well, we don't take cash. Or we don't take card, I mean. So you're going to have to go to this ATM down the road.
Oh my God.
So we had to drive down, get cash, come back. So I hand them $280.
Does an ATM let you take $300 out in one day?
Yeah.
I thought there was limits on that shit.
They're like, oh yeah, it's not $280. I don't know who told you that. It's actually $400.
They were full of shit.
Yes, we got completely ripped off, but there's nothing we could do because we're in a rental car out in the backwoods of New York. So we're like, okay. So we went back to the ATM, got more cash, came back, gave them the rest of the money, got the car.
And what is your Venmo so that the fans can help you pay for this trip?
So we get back in the cars, we put it in the next place in the GPS, and we head north. Because where I was dropping off the rental car was actually at another airport. It was like a smaller airport in northern New York. And that was like the only drop off within however many miles. So we get there, and it's a small airport. I'm not joking. Like, it was really small. And there was nobody there. The airport was empty. It felt like...
Maybe the Avengers were fighting.
It felt like a horror movie. Like, my mom stayed outside in the other car as I took in the keys for the rental car. And there's nobody in there. I'm like saying, hello? Hello? Is anybody here? And like, my voice is echoing through, and it was creepy. Like, I'm like, okay. So I walk over to the rental counter, and there's like a drop box. So I put the stuff in the drop box, and we leave. We go to where the family disaster was happening. We figured out some stuff there. And then I get a call. They're like, hey, you dropped off your rental sheet, but you forgot the key in the box or something. So I'm like, there's no way. I checked my pocket. Sure enough, I forgot the
You
rental.
left the key in your pocket?
I left my key. I'm like, oh my
Biggs.
God. Now, luckily, we were only like 2 miles away from where we dropped off the car.
Oh, good.
So we drove back over. There's nobody again. Whoever called me was not there.
How did they know?
I went behind the counter into the room where like the office was. There's nobody in there. I'm like, do they look in the cameras or does that box go down to hell and they're like in an office underneath the airport?
The employee only works 20 minutes a day, and he just happened to show up after you left.
I was dumbfounded. I'm like, I don't know where these people are. There's nobody.
Is it literally run by a ghost?
It has to be. I go over to where you like buy tickets to leave, and there's nobody there. There's nobody anywhere.
What the fuck?
Security was completely empty. There's nobody, no TSA, nothing. This airport was empty.
How'd you get in?
The doors were unlocked.
That's nuts.
So I'm like, okay, I just drop the key in the box and we leave. So up to this point, I want to let everyone know everything has gone completely to my schedule.
Oh, shut up.
Almost to the minute.
Shut the fuck up.
Almost to the minute. Dude, it was so good.
So then you can plan my brother Patchy's bachelor party if you're so fucking good at planning parties and shit.
I was rubbing it into my mom's face the whole time.
Don't say that. That's disgusting.
Because she...
That's disgusting.
Listen, she kept saying... There's no way it's gonna take that long. There's no way.
That's what she sounds
we don't
like.
need that much time to do this. And sure enough, everything I said would take X amount of time did. So then
you can plan Patchy's party.
Okay, so here's where we start. I would say the worst leg of the trip.
It's getting worse from here?
Yes.
It's already the worst
'Cause now-
travel story I've ever heard.
So now we start the trek of 19 hours back to Iowa.
yeah.
Now, I added on an extra 2 hours to that for stops because minimum 2 hours of stops had to be.
Now, here's where you fucked up in your grand scheme. How do you think you're not going to have to stop for a hotel on a 20-hour drive?
Because we were going to flip drivers back and forth.
Yeah, fucking right. Did your mom actually drive?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, okay.
So it would have worked. It would have worked. But we'll get to that part. So we leave the airport again and we start heading like southwest because the only way to get onto a main highway from northern New York is either drive like 3 hours out of our way to drive straight south and then go straight west, or drive like zigzag through the mountains in the forest to the highway. So we're driving. It's like by this point it's already like 8:30 and it's dark, and we're driving through the forest, and then it starts raining
Again?
and then it gets foggy. So it is literally fog up to, like above our car, so we can really not see out of the windshield already.
What's the quality of this car that you picked up? Is it nicer than the rental car?
No, this car is an 07 Chevy Cobalt. It doesn't even have power locks. It doesn't have... It is really the only thing it has is working AC. That's all it has.
Does it have autopilot?
No.
So you have to just keep your foot on the gas
Yes.
and pay attention
the
the whole
yeah,
time.
that's what you mean. No, it didn't have cruise control.
Yeah, that's
no,
what I meant.
It does not. And it's like the smallest car imaginable. Like sitting in that car was tighter than sitting in the airplane.
Does it have back doors or just two front?
No,
just two doors?
It's a 2-door coupe. So we're driving, and it's like literally like 5 hours of driving through this literal constant
Fuck
back
that.
and forth zigzag.
Yeah.
Through the pitch black forest, in the fog, in the rain.
What
like,
time is it at this
pouring
point?
down rain. It's like, so it was like around 8:39 when we left to start going to Iowa, and by the time we were done, it was like,
Well, it was 9 at night?
yeah. So it was close.
You had to be at the airport at 6 a.m. and you were just driving back at 9 at night?
Yes.
What the fuck? How long were these flights? Like 10 hours?
So it was 6 hours total to get like full trip to get from here
Plus
to
2 hour time zone?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
1 hour.
I
Central time to East Coast is 1 hour.
I don't know. It's 2 hours, isn't it?
No, it's 1.
I'm thinking of West Coast.
Yeah, West Coast is 2 hours behind.
True. It's weird because Iowa's right in the middle, But one coast is 2 hours away, and the other one's only one.
Yeah, because there's mountain time in between us.
Yeah.
And west. But
I'm just stupid today. I thought cruise control was called autopilot.
No, that's literally where the car drives itself. That's what Teslas have.
Yeah, I know. I'm stupid.
But so anyways, we get through all that. We finally hit a highway. Like, it's about time. It's just gonna be smooth sailing from there.
Is that what it's called when Biggs smokes weed? He goes on the highway.
So we had swapped off drivers.
Just ignore everything.
I was driving. And I said, "All right, Mom. Now this is where you have to sleep, and it's late and it's dark, so there's no reason why she wouldn't be able to sleep." So I'm like, "Now you can sleep for however many hours, and then we can swap off, and I can sleep later." Because at that point, I still hadn't slept. Well, I think I got an hour of sleep while she was driving. So she lays down and attempts to sleep, and I'm driving for who knows how many hours.
Wait, she's laying down in the back seat of a tiny-ass car?
No, in the passenger seat, laid back.
Oh, well, that's still not good.
Because the family member was in the back of the car.
Right.
So, I don't even know, a couple hours go by or something like that, and she starts complaining again. She's like, "There's no way I can sleep in this car."
Yeah, no shit.
I'm like, "Mom, please, you have to."
I wouldn't have been able to do it.
No, listen, I even bought her like a neck pillow, another pillow, blankets, everything, so that she'd be comfortable to sleep in the car. Because to drive back in one sitting, she had to sleep in the car.
Yeah.
To swap drivers. Otherwise, it didn't work.
That's the big flaw in your plan, because some people just can't sleep in the car. I can't.
Dude, if she was able to, it would have worked flawlessly.
I think she might have been a little fucking stressed out about this crazy trip.
Oh, and I wasn't?
But you're not the one who's trying to sleep in the car.
I did sleep in the car before. Granted, it was only an hour, but...
Well, to be fair, you can sleep through literally anything, including me trying to wake you up to record the podcast, so...
She can sleep through it just about anything, too. Like, I don't want to hear it. So anyways, she starts complaining this and that, and... I was like, "Mom, if you don't sleep, there's no way we can do this, because eventually I'm going to hit a bottleneck where I can't drive anymore. And if you can't drive, then we might as well stop. Like, there's no way."
Yeah.
She's like, "No, we're not going to stop, blah, blah. Just keep going. I'll be able to sleep." So I drive a little bit more, and she just starts complaining again. So I see a sign for hotels. I'm like, screw this. I'm pulling over. We're going to stop for the night. Okay? I'm done. Whatever. So we pull over. She starts complaining that we're stopping because she didn't want to have to get back home later than we anticipated.
It's your fault, bitch!
And I'm like, oh my God. So I say, stay in the car. I'm going to walk into some of these hotels and see if they have vacancies. Like, none of them did. But then I looked on the map, and like a mile further off this road, there was another one, Quality Inn and Suites, I think. And they had vacancies. Thank God. So we drive over there. We get a hotel for the night. Finally shuts up. She goes to bed, and I'm finally at peace for the rest of the night. So then I'm like, I want to be back on the road. Okay, I think we got to a hotel like 1:30 or 2 in the morning. And I was like, I want to be back on the road no later than 9, because I don't want to get
You're going to sleep for like 6 hours?
Dude, I was not going to get back at like 2 in the morning. No way.
What the fuck you have going on?
Literally,
You're up until 2 a.m.
At
anyway.
that point, I was ready to find the nearest airport and fly myself back. I was not... No. It was awful. Constant petulant crying from her was just... It was unbearable.
Has she at all thanked you or apologized for her behavior? Nothing?
No.
Nothing. Your family just takes you for granted?
Still even now, she hasn't said, "Oh, thanks for going with me, by the way." Because
fucking terrible.
I could have said no, and she could have went alone.
She should have. If you could go back, would you still do it?
Yes.
What? You fucking cuck!
But anyways, so...
Why?
So we wake up in the
If it was so bad, why would you still do it? Why not punish your mom and make her do it?
Because she's still my mom, and I don't want her out there alone, because then I'm worrying about both of them.
It's not like she's gonna get raped. I'm not out there.
Bruh. So we wake up, and we leave about 9 in the morning. We grab breakfast, and we start driving.
Now, what was for breakfast? Was it Wendy's again?
No, it was McDonald's McGriddles.
I mean, that's fine, but I think Wendy's breakfast is underrated. They got some good shit over there.
Yeah, they do. But
Yeah.
there wasn't a Wendy's around. The only fast food within 20 miles was a McDonald's.
Okay.
Keep in mind, we're still in backwoods, New York.
You've been driving through New York for 5 hours?
Yes.
How long is it from the top of New York to the bottom?
I have no idea, but it took forever.
Fuck.
And like, that wasn't even the fastest route. The fastest route would have been going through Canada. But since
Can't do that.
I could have, I have a passport,
Yeah.
and I took it with me just in case. But
just in case of what? Your other family members can't do that shit.
When I travel, I plan for everything. It doesn't matter.
How do you plan for it? My 2 passengers do not have a passport.
If for whatever reason I need a passport, I had it.
In case you abandon them and run away to Canada?
Hey,
like Canada's not even letting in people because of Corona, right? I thought you can't go into Canada, I thought.
I don't know. But anyway,
you're not even vaccinated.
So we leave, and I'm not going to tell every ounce of this trip, but basically...
You can. We have 5 more minutes on the show. Go for it.
It would take way longer than 5 minutes. So the trip back, because from there we didn't stop. From 9 a.m., we finally got back to Iowa at midnight. We did not... we did stop for like gas and bathroom and stuff, but other than that, we didn't like do another big stop for a hotel or anything.
So 7 hours behind schedule? Because you had to stop?
So the entire trip out of New York through Ohio, through Indiana, Illinois, into Iowa was nothing but traffic problems, construction, like one lane going down to one lane construction. So we could have got back sooner, but because of all that, it delayed us like another hour at least.
How much out of pocket did you spend on gas money?
Gas money? Well, in total for the whole trip, all said and done, it was probably over $2,000.
Fuck! And you had to pay for it? Your mom didn't?
No, so I paid for some of it, but my stepdad ended up paying for a good portion of it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Which, honestly, throughout this whole thing, I feel almost worse for him because he paid a lot of money over the last 2 years for this whole ordeal.
He should count his blessings. He didn't have to go on the trip. What the fuck was he busy doing?
Anyways,
working?
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to take off work for this. So I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
The only reason why I went was because I wasn't working. If I was working, I would have went. But
yeah.
Anyways, so we get through. We finally get out of New York, and that was getting out of New York was the best part of the trip, honestly, because New York was awful. Ohio. It's Ohio. I mean, it's a really wide state. It took a long time to get through.
One of these days, we are going to go to Cedar Point, Ohio, Biggs.
Yeah.
After Corona.
Thinking about it, I almost decided to go off schedule again just so I could go see the Niagara Falls. Like, we were close to it, and we could have. But I was like, you know what? I just want to get home. But anyway, so we got through Ohio pretty much without any problems. Like, we hopped on their tollway or whatever and just cruised straight through. Indiana, that's where we ran into tons of construction. Literally, at one point, we were sitting still on the freeway for like 40 minutes. It was awful. Just, I don't know. So then we get past that. We come up to another spot that delayed us like another 15 minutes sitting there on the freeway. And then we keep going and there's traffic, people cutting us off. It was just a headache. So we get almost all the way through Indiana. We decide to stop because the person in the back had used the bathroom. So we pull off and we end up somewhere that reminds me of like South Chicago. Like we go to this gas station. It's like a local gas station. And between you and the guy at the register, there's at least like 6 inches of bulletproof glass. That's what kind of neighborhood we were in.
So what you're saying is there were a lot of Asian people there.
No, there was a lot of white people. They were just trash. So
how do you describe trash?
So first of all, there's like 5 kids running through this tiny gas station.
Where else are they supposed to play? There's no playgrounds.
Obscenities and saying,
obscenities.
We're gonna steal things and we're gonna trash the store. They're just being stupid. Like these are like hood street kids.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So then this lady comes in. Well, I don't know what she goes by. Maybe she went as male.
Oh, you didn't ask for the preferred pronouns?
She had short hair, and like you could tell she had like some kind of strap thing around her chest to hold her boobs down. But anyways,
okay.
She like starts going back and forth with these kids. They're like talking crap to her, and they're like,
"Good."
They're like, you know, at first we thought you were a guy. We're gonna kick your ass, but I guess since you're
how old are these kids?
I guess since you're a dyke, we'll leave you alone.
I thought that they were 6 when you described it. Are they like our age?
They're like probably 12, 13.
Okay.
Something like that.
Good age to be a punk.
So they're like yelling at her back and forth, calling her a dyke and all other sorts of things. She's like, if you kids don't get home, we're gonna whoop your ass and this and that. They're like, yeah, right, you can't catch us on our bikes in your piece of crap car. It's just stupid. It was so stupid, but it was funny.
Did they make fun of you?
No. But
Pussies.
So we finally left there. We continued. South Chicago was a nightmare. Traffic and I don't know. Basically, the rest of this trip is just dealing with traffic and construction, and my mom crying about every step of the way. So we finally get back at midnight, and we had to take said family member that we went and picked up to the hospital that night. And so we take them to get them admitted, and we're literally there for 4 hours. And
So you still don't get to go home?
No. So we're in Des Moines, but we don't get to go home. We got there at midnight, and we're there until 4. And finally, because we kept
How does it take so long? Lock them up.
No idea. So I'm like, what else do you need from us? There's nothing you could possibly need from us, right? They're like, well, we need you to stick around.
Here's the straitjacket, motherfucker. Let me go home.
We need you to stick around for paperwork and blah, blah, blah. So they keep giving us this excuse, hour after hour. Finally, 4 o'clock, my mom's literally like passed out in the chair. Like she looks like
so
she's
she
dead.
could sleep at the hospital, but not in the car.
Yeah. No kidding. Oh my. So, anyways,
Good.
I like wake her up. I'm like, just go get in the car.
You
We're leaving.
bitch.
I'm like, just go get in the car. We're leaving. I don't even care. Like the nurse comes in, and I'm like, you have no idea. We've been on the road for so many hours today. We're not staying here anymore. If you need anything, call us tomorrow. She's like, please don't leave. We need you for the blah, blah. I'm like, just shut up.
You should have done it 4 hours ago, bitch.
We are leaving. We've been here for 4 hours, and I'm done. I am done. We're leaving. She's like, okay. Like putting up her hands like I'm going to hit her or something. Like,
You should have hit her.
I'm like, whatever. So
That's the only way women will learn.
we walk out. I drop my mom off and make sure she gets inside. I finally get home. I just pass out. I'm like, this was like the worst 2 days of my life.
Yeah.
Like,
Other than when you have to come over to my house and watch Nostalgia Critic.
Never doing this again.
Yeah.
Never. It was
Until we take your mom to Branson.
It was the worst experience of my life, and I've been through a lot of terrible stuff.
True. That is so. This is the big stream moment, milestone. Worst 2 days of Biggs's life. That's the
Yes.
title of the episode. We did it. What could possibly happen that you'd have a worse experience? How can I set this up for you?
What do you mean?
Like,
to make
Yeah, what would be 2 worse days? What could happen?
go on literally any trip with me and don't plan a single thing and just let it all go to hell.
I mean, that's what happens.
Let everything go to hell.
That happened when we went to the Goat Tower. We didn't plan shit and we had fun. It was fun. You can't say it wasn't fun. Sometimes doing shit off the cuff, impromptu trip, it's fun. Going to Mall of America saying, hey, you want to go? Okay, and we leave immediately? That's fun. Who
Okay.
needs to plan everything?
Okay, but big trips like airports, I guess. Airports for me are a nightmare. I
Fuck
hate
airports. We're going on road trips. Only in the car.
Ugh,
Fuck the
I don't
airport.
know, but
I fucking hate the airport.
airports are just the bane of my existence. I hate them. Yet they're so easy. Like, they're so easy, but they're so stupid. I think
They're
that's
not
the
easy
problem.
because they can move your gate without notice, and then all of a sudden you're at the wrong side of the airport. They will delay your flight, and now you're not going to make your connecting flight, and now you're just fucked. Now, I guess if I get on my now delayed flight, I'll just be stranded in fucking Alabama for God knows how long. It's not fucking easy. They'll just cancel shit for no reason. Oh, there's a little bit of fog. I guess these 300 customers are fucked. Fuck you. Just
That
sleep in the
actually
fucking
happened to
airport.
us. That actually happened to us before we left.
That's why there's no point in planning, because they will fuck you.
It ended up being like an error in their system or something. But that morning, I woke up at like 5 a.m. and it showed up on my phone because I have the airport app or whatever. It said, your flight's been delayed, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking at it and it says, we're not going to land in Washington, D.C. until 10:10 a.m. But my flight that's leaving for Albany departs at 10 a.m.
Yeah, you're fucked.
So the lady at the front desk, I'm like, how does this make sense? Because it says it was delayed, but our plane's still leaving at the same time. So how is it landing? How are we delayed mid-flight? Like, does the plane just slow down?
No, the other flight is just going to leave without you.
No, what I'm saying is we were supposed to get in at like 9:40.
Yeah.
So we had 20 minutes to get to the next flight. So if my plane leaving Des Moines didn't get delayed, we were still leaving at 6. How are we landing delayed?
Oh, because the flight's going to take longer?
Is the flight going to like slow down?
Probably.
Or something like that? She's like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
I think flights can like slow down, or like if there's bad weather, they'll have to fly in a circle around the airport before they land. I've had
That's
that
just
happen
so
before.
stupid. I'm like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's just an error. You'll just have to go, and if you get delayed, just let us know, and we can find you another flight. But then it ended up just being a huge error. Like, I don't know. It was stupid, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The delays and whatnot.
Well, Biggs, you have a Patreon still, don't you?
Maybe.
You had to spend a lot of time and money on this, and if anybody is feeling generous, they want to throw you a couple bucks, what is the best way to do it? Don't do it on my Patreon, because Biggs will never see it.
Just put it on my PayPal if you want to do
Yeah,
this.
because I nobody has to, but like Biggs went through a lot. I'd give him money, but he won't take my charity. So if anybody wants to throw him like $5, what's your PayPal?
BiggsBigsington@gmail.com.
So you can do what? BiggsBigsington.paypal.me or some shit, or I'll just put
Yeah, I guess we could put it in the
description.
I don't know how to find that.
Yeah, if you take pity on Biggs, that's the way to do it. But I think that's all we have prepared for today. We're planning on doing half of a podcast and then having Eggy on for the other half, but Biggs' story went for about 40 minutes longer than I expected, so I guess we'll get Eggy on next time to talk about the upcoming Wheel of Cursed Meals 4 that we'll be filming pretty much 2 weeks from today, Biggs. And we'll probably record a whole bunch of other stuff with Eggy while he's here too, because why not? He's a content machine.
True.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in. And Biggs, you get the final word.
Word.